Welcome back everyone. I went ahead and finally finished off my iPhone comparisons that I usually do for the battery when a new version of software comes out. Now with the iPhone 8, like I said for my other two ones that I'll drop today, I actually was like halfway through this comparison yesterday and iOS 14.0.1 came out, so I had to go and stop those, update my phones, review those, and wait till today to drop this comparison. So how this comparison works is I have two iPhone 8s, one is running iOS 13, one is running iOS 14, and I basically just let them kind of, sit idle. I have them up to the exact same brightness. I'd play some games and whatever. I have a timer set right next to them and I periodically check up on them and I just pretty much wait and see if one dies sooner than the other one. Now, whatever I do on one iPhone, I do the exact same thing on the other one as well. So I keep it completely consistent, at least as consistent as I can make it. Now, I checked in, I let them sit idle for a while and 46 minutes later, I checked up on them and I saw that iOS 13 had 89%, where iOS 14 had 84%. So already right here, I saw that iOS 14 was about 5% lower. And I saw across the board that my 6S and 7s, it pretty much started off the same way. I saw that iOS 13 was starting off maybe a little bit higher in battery percentage, but then it kind of trickled down a little bit later, maybe a little bit faster than iOS 14. So I was kind of expecting it to do the same thing here. Then I let them sit idle, play Temple Run or whatever a little bit longer. I came back 58 minutes later and I saw that iOS 13 had 84% and iOS 14 had 77%. So already here I was seeing some bigger differences that I hadn't seen before on my other iPhones. So I was like, alright, like iPhone 8 on iOS 13 is probably going to win. Maybe not by much, but who knows? And so at this point, I wasn't expecting to see this big of a difference, and both these iPhones are pretty high battery percentages too. I think one is at 95 and one is at 94, 93. So it's not like one is at like 70 and the other one's at 100. It's not the case at all. Then I let them sit idle for a little bit longer. I checked back in about an hour and a half in, and I saw that iOS 13 had 65%. And iOS 14 had 53%, and same thing goes here. I was like, alright, iOS 14 is probably gonna win, and I didn't want to believe it at first because I was like, iOS 14.0.1 was really good on all my other devices, but this one was a little bit weirder, so I wasn't really too sure what's going on here. I checked back in about 2 hours and 23 minutes in, saw that iOS 13 was at 49%, iOS 14 was at 32%, and I was like the same exact thing here. I'm like, alright, iOS 14 is probably not going to win. And then finally I checked back in at 2 hours and 57 minutes in, iOS 13 was 36%, iOS 14 was at 16%. And I was like, this is probably enough of a difference for me to kind of give the assumption and probably the validation that iOS 14 probably has the worst battery life when it comes down to it on the iPhone 8 specifically. Now this is what's really important about doing it phone by phone and case by case, because on my other iPhones that I've tested, the other two ones as of today, the iPhone 6S and 7, I'm going to test more probably tomorrow, I pretty much saw that iOS 14 had better battery life than the other iPhones across the board. So I was expecting the iPhone 8 to pretty much go under that same category, but that was not the case. I saw that iOS 13, and mind you, 13.7, I'm comparing it to 14.0.1, the two newest softwares on both. I pretty much saw that iOS 13 on the iPhone 8 specifically had the better battery life than iOS 14. Now, if you go and maybe compare iOS 14.2 or 14.3 in the future, maybe there will be some bigger differences, but as of right now, this is what I saw and it's pretty interesting to me. So if you have an iPhone 8 updating to iOS 14, may mean you may have actually worse battery life than on iOS 13, but it could be temporary. You could be getting better battery life down the road, but as of right now, this is kind of what I'm seeing on iOS 14.0.1. So that's really pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that means so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys could hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my main channel. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.